Good evening, folks. This is the Factivist Project, and we are here with your weekly wake-up call. And we're not going to spend too much time talking now. We're going to turn it over to Dave.
Hello, everybody. I want to talk to you about propaganda because we're going to be doing our Halloween horror show on some of the social media nightmare sites that are just pushing propaganda and garbage and hate and all of that. But first, I want to talk to you briefly about something I've said before. There's someone who worked for Ron DeSantis as his press advisor or press secretary. Her name is Christina Pushaw, and she has a very basic plan, which is everything the right wing does is right and righteous, and everything that the left wing does is wrong and radical, and they're the enemy, and you prop up your guys and you push those guys down. And you see platform after platform being bought up by a right winger, whether it be Elon Musk buying up Twitter. You hear about Parler being bought up by Yi. And so you see this happening. And when you have all of those platforms together, you have what's called truth by repetition. It's an idea that if you say something enough times, people are going to start believing it's true, no matter how crazy and ludicrous it is. Like, Trump is the real president. Trump won. Biden isn't really the president. And these right-wing candidates, they're going to preserve elections for you and make sure that the elections are right, because no one would be voting for these people. They're only going to be voting for them. Carrie Lake is one of the champions of this. She is running for governor of Arizona against Katie Hobbs. And I know people have criticized Katie Hobbs for not debating Carrie Lake. However, Katie Hobbs' most of her job is to preserve the sanctity of votes in Arizona. She did that for the 2020 election with Biden in Arizona. So when she sees a candidate like Carrie Lake, she doesn't see Carrie Lake even as a legitimate candidate, because Carrie Lake does not believe in the elections. Carrie Lake has stated that she will only agree that the vote count is right, or the elections were properly done, if she wins and if her candidates win. So
Carrie Lake won't even debate on the issues. That's the whole.
Right.
That's another reason why, all she would be doing would be giving Carrie Lake another venue to spew her bullshit, because even in the primary debates, that's all Carrie Lake could talk about was the 2020 election. That's it. No issues, just that. So
you have 4 states that have what's called the swing state GOP governor candidates that could potentially mess up a 2024 presidential election. Even, let's say, Biden runs again and Biden wins in these states, these governors, under current law, if legislation isn't put in place, could refuse to certify the voting count. And these are Carrie Lake of Arizona. You have Doug Mastriano in Pennsylvania. You have Tudor Lake in Michigan. And you have Tim Michels in Wisconsin, he's backed off of it, but at the same time, you don't know which way he goes, because sometimes he wants to appease the Trump voters. So maybe he would refuse to. Who knows? And I personally, I think we have a couple others, and maybe Ron DeSantis, and you have a couple others. I'm sure that Lee Zeldin would do it in New York. So understand
And I'm
that
sure Jeff Deal would do it in Massachusetts.
Jeff Deal,
But Maura Healey has
he's
already got 66% of the vote in early voting. So
right. So remember, we continue to say there were 147 Republicans who voted to overturn the election results, and that said that Trump actually won. So those are the election deniers. That number has increased because you have more people running on that very platform. You have 538, which is a website, a polling website that says that 60% of all voters have someone in their immediate area that's running as an election denier.
And
Okay.
I'm sorry if the American people don't see that as a threat. If they see, I don't know, their creature comforts more important, the economy is more important. Nothing is more important than fascism on the ballot. And that's exactly what we have here. You have a choice. If you think the economy is going to improve under fascism, I suggest you look back at history, recent and past. There's plenty of information out there that proves that that's a lie. A fascist government does not work for the people. It works for the corporations and the billionaires. End of story. So, have at it. Beyond this, we can't help you much more.
One more thing I wanted to say. A lot of times these lies lead to potential threats or potential violence. We have an article from October 13th of this year from the Center of American Progress talking about having to protect election workers and officials from threats and harassment during the midterm elections. This is unacceptable, first off. And second off, we cannot be deterred. Whatever you got to do, whoever you got to go with, whatever you have to do to feel safe, you go and you vote. Do not let these people bully you, harass you, and intimidate you in this way. And if you feel intimidated by one side, don't you think you should vote for the other side? Which side is fighting for your rights, or for fighting for your safety, or fighting for job security? I don't see it as being the right wing.
The question here is, which side are you on? That's as simple as that.
Are you here just to hear some entertainment from Twitter, or are you here for information? If you're here for information, we have some great sources that come out of some of these social media sites sometimes, and they will fight some of this misinformation. But if you're just in it for the entertainment, I'm not here for you, because we're trying to affect change right now, because this is probably the worst time in my lifetime politically, and we have to turn this around. And I know you hear this time and time again, but this is the election to do it. You got to do it now.
2024 is going to be too late. Okay, too late.
Yep. They're talking about certifying elections based on who is winning.
Right.
Do you understand that? So we may not have fair and free elections much longer. You have to keep these people out, no matter what side you're on. Some Republicans get it too. These guys are not the people to be messing with. And by the way, Carrie Lake does not consider herself a Republican either. She considers herself a quote unquote independent, whatever the hell that is, which basically means she's in the Carrie Lake party. So anyway.
Okay, gang, we'll see you later on the long show.
See ya.